Sideline Spotlight. I'm Big Will Levinson. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an absolutely humongous lineup of college football all right here on News Channel 9. That includes one of the biggest rivalries in the SEC, Tennessee and Alabama, and a top 10 showdown between Ole Miss and Georgia. We'll break those down in a moment, but first, let's look at the AP top 10 heading into this week. Coming in at number 10, it's the LSU Tigers. Georgia moves up one spot to number 9. Alabama climbs up 2 spots to 6. Ole Miss drops 1 spot and moves to 5. The Texas A&M Aggies sit at 4. Indiana shoots up to number 3 after their big win over Oregon, and Ohio State and Miami still hold on to the top 2 spots. And so let us begin with a game that we have had circled on our calendar since the moment the schedule was released. The third Saturday in October, the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Tennessee Volunteers. And the stakes, boy, they are high in this one. Alabama is ranked 6th in the nation while the Vols sit at 11. Both teams have 1 loss, so a win today would keep them in the hunt for what's becoming a super tight race for the SEC title. Let's start with the Vols. They fell to Georgia in overtime back in September, but they have rattled off 3 straight wins since. Coach Josh Heupel will look to guide his team past the Crimson Tide for the 3rd time in the last 4 meetings today, but it won't be easy. The Tide's offense revolves around Ty Simpson. He's thrown multiple touchdowns in all 6 of his games and just 1 interception this season. In fact, Alabama has committed just 2 turnovers in total on the year, while they've forced 11. That is a stat Josh Heupel is well aware of ahead of this game.
Well, we need to win the turnover battle, first of all. He's been great with the football, been really sound in his decision-making. For us, we got to go play assignment sound. You got to apply pressure to the quarterback. That's a part of creating turnovers. You got to do a great job of matching out and making plays on the back end, too. And got to put our helmet on the football and get some punches, too, and try to knock it out that way.
Meanwhile, for Alabama, Coach Kellen DeBoer will get his 2nd crack at the Vols today. UT beat the Tide in Knoxville last season, but today's game is in Tuscaloosa, a place Tennessee has not won in since 2003, a place DeBoer has yet to lose a game in his short tenure with the Tide. That's right, he is undefeated at home. Alabama is slowly building one of the better resumes in college football. They have won 5 straight since that opening loss to Florida State, and this will mark their 4th straight game against a ranked opponent. DeBoer is expecting his team to keep the momentum rolling.
It's not just the last 3 weeks, it's the last really 5-6 weeks since we dropped week 1, and just the resiliency these guys have, and it's in games, and it's just them just sticking together. They're playing for each other. Got to keep it rolling. It doesn't happen on its own. It happens through hard work.
Alabama, Tennessee kicks off at 7:30 tonight right here on News Channel 9. Now to a battle of top 10 teams. 9th-ranked Georgia hosting the 5th-ranked Ole Miss Rebels. Both teams survived close calls last week. Ole Miss squeaked out a close win against Washington State, and Georgia had to come from behind to beat Auburn on the road. Ole Miss brings the SEC's 5th-ranked offense that plays at a high tempo. For the Dogs, avoiding a slow start will be key to success in this one. Georgia has fallen behind in games against Auburn, Tennessee, and Alabama, but found a way to win 2 of those. Smart says he wants to see more explosiveness from the team, but says he's comfortable with what this team has done thus far.
I'm comfortable with who we are, although I want to be more explosive, but being a team that can grind it out, be physical in a day and age when a lot of people don't want to be physical, it makes you different.
Georgia Ole Miss goes down at 3:30 right here on News Channel 9. Still ahead, Vanderbilt looks to get back on track against LSU, and the Chattanooga Mocs look to make it 6 straight victories over rival ETSU today. Stay with us. Welcome back to Sideline Spotlight. Let's talk about another huge SEC game you'll see today on News Channel 9. A ranked matchup that appears to be a must-win for both teams to stay alive in the playoff and conference title hunt. 10th-ranked LSU taking on 17th-ranked Vanderbilt. Both teams coming to this one with 1 loss each. Vandy lost to Alabama 2 weeks ago, while LSU fell to Ole Miss earlier this year. This one is your classic high-powered offense versus dominant defense matchup. The Commodores' offense ranks 7th in the nation, averaging more than 43 points a game. LSU is 5th in the country in scoring defense, allowing just 11 points a game this season so far. Vandy coach Clark Lee says he's excited to see what his team can do against one of the top defensive units in the nation.
the way we have success is not worrying too much about them. It's our process, our system, execution of what we do, because we believe in our offense. And so I think we have things, inherent in our system, in our process that will challenge them too.
LSU Vanderbilt opens up a stacked slate of college football on our networks. That one starts at noon on News Channel 9. And Ole Miss Georgia at 3:30, and we close it out with Tennessee and Alabama at 7:30. Then 3 games on Fox Chattanooga, including unbeaten Texas Tech taking on Arizona State. 2 games on the CW Chattanooga, and some SoCon action on MyNet. Furman hosting Wofford at noon. Another huge lineup on our networks. And speaking of SoCon, one of the conference's biggest rivalries goes down at Finley Stadium this afternoon. The Mocs take on the ETSU Buccaneers. Both teams need a win in this one. Not only is the real rivalry trophy at stake, but also is a chance to stay in the hunt for a SoCon title. Both teams are coming off their first conference win of the season, each against the same team. The Bucs beat VMI last week. UTC got their first conference win over VMI 2 weeks ago before their bye, and that off week came at a perfect time for the Mocs. Coach Rusty Wright says the team spent the off time focusing on themselves.
Looked internally really hard at some things we were doing and trying to change some things up and put some guys in some different spots possibly to help us a little bit. But I thought the open week came at a good time for us. I felt it was as young as a group as we are. I thought it was important for us to just focus on us and not really worry about who we're getting ready to play. But I think we did a good job of that last week. And, we started out yesterday and today getting ready for a really talented bunch coming from Johnson City that'll be ready to play, and we'll have our hands full, but looking forward to being at home.
The Mocs have won the past 5 meetings against the Bucs. ETSU UTC kicks off at 1:30. News Channel 9 will be your home for all the college football matchups all season long. We'll be here each week breaking down the most high-profile games of the week. Be sure to go to newschannel9.com for more SEC, Mocs, and high school football coverage. Have a spectacular Saturday.